Kid Colt, hero of the West, and by issue 3 it's going to be called Outlaw. Now, Western comics, not a big fan of Western comics. The only Western comics I've ever read is actually Jonah Hex. I read those mini series that had come out, Two Gun Mojo, and there's like I think 2 or 3. I have those in the floppies, and I was reading All-Star Western and Jonah Hex's own series. So Jonah Hex is one of my favorite DC characters, probably top 10, closer to the bottom of the 10, but probably like 9th or 10th favorite DC character. I never really got into any other Western comics, including Marvel. Kid Colt came into notice because of a movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is one of my favorite films of all time, the best Tarantino movie in my opinion. Love the era, love the movie, love how Tarantino, merges his dialogue and all that. And I don't know, it's just such a great movie. And in the movie, Cliff Booth, played by Brad Pitt, and an amazing performance, best character, he reads Sergeant Fury. Now, I know Nick Fury, and I have some Sergeant Fury videos up, and he reads Kid Colt. So I thought, why don't I read? And I'll tell you something, guys, this is a 10 center. If you're a kid and you pay 10 cents in August, well, August is the cover date, publication is, a sales date was before, but summertime's here, 10 cents in your pocket, you can't go wrong with this issue. Let me tell you right now, I don't rate or review old comics, but if I was going to, this would be like a 10 because it's the damn best. It's absolutely fantastic. Kid Colt, Outlaw. Now it says Outlaw here. Wait a minute. It says Hero. What the heck? Okay. Oh, I love these old ads. Okay. Quick origin here. This is anthology. So a lot of comics are anthology. There's this guy here who's whipping the crap out of this guy, and his main weapon is this bullwhip, and he is a bastard. So basically, Kid Colt here helps this guy out, this old timer, and punches out the guy, and he gets whipped a little bit. And then sheriff comes. He's like, "Okay, guys, break it up." And the sheriff's a bad guy in this. This is why he becomes an outlaw. And so when Kid Colt comes back home to his father kind of like makes fun of him a bit and says, "Oh, you're not a very tough guy. Like, why don't you carry guns and all of this stuff?" And Kid Colt's like, "Well, look, I'm not into guns, Pa," and they get a bit of a scuffle about it. And that's sort of your intro. Now, when Kid leaves, he actually leaves his father, and then his father is found dead. And the sheriff comes and says, "Colt, you're under arrest." He's like, "Well, for what? For killing your father because you guys had an argument and you bashed his head in with a gun." And that obviously didn't happen. So Kid Colt fights back. Some shots are fired. And it's established early, right after the argument with his father, that he is a crack shot and he is badass with guns. And he has a temper. And his fear is that in losing his temper, he might grab weapons and shoot guys. And this is the primary reason why he doesn't carry the guns. So he's not a pacifist. He's scared of his own temper and abilities. And what an amazing character. What an absolutely, just felt very unique. I don't know anything. So this is literally the first thing I've read of Kid Colt, except for Jonah Hex. I've read no other Western characters. So if there is another character that predates this, or this is based on something, this is a learning opportunity for me. Let me know in the comments. While you're at it, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so Colt's brought in. This fella here, this old timer guy, helps him escape. They get out, and there's basically just a shootout because the sheriff is now saying, "Oh, by the way, your old man lost the ranch to me in poker last night, so I own the ranch and I'm hanging you for your father's murder." When they investigate and check out the body, Kid Colt finds that he was actually shot, and someone bashed his head in to remove evidence of the shot. Wow. This is crazy. I'm reading this last night thinking, my God, this has to be one of the coolest origins. And look, it is a bit generic, like, oh, his dad died or whatever, but it's not like, Lone Ranger, the brother died or whatever. Like this was done in a very sinister way, right? Great action too, jumping through the glass here, fighting the sheriff. And Kid Colt just comes and blows him away. there's no bullshit in this comic. This is just complete badass. He just and then this piece of trash whips this old guy to death. He whips him to death. I'm not lying to you. And then Kid Colt, look, he tried to whip him in the face. He whipped him in the face. And Kid Colt's like, you know what? F you, buddy. Booms. Shoots this idiot, whips the crap out of him. And then the old man is dying there. And Kid Colt says, tell dad when you go to heaven that I got revenge for him. The end? Dude, this was 10 pages of pure awesomeness. This is the most badass intro that I've come across in a long time, guys. Like, I can't, this is 10. Okay, that's only the first story. We're going to go through the rest a bit quicker because I don't want these videos to get too long. Talking about his guns. Yeah, man, look how badass those are. Boom, boom, boom. Get double guns. Listen, this is John Woo. If he had just done the cross arms, man, this would be like friggin' John Woo. John Woo needs to make Kid Colt. How's that? Make that happen, Hollywood folks. I know you all watch my videos. All right, so Colt becomes Marshal here. This is kind of interesting. There's a show called Banshee, which sort of takes this premise. Ish. So he comes in here and this guy's a total drunk and he's a piece of trash and he's talking shit. And so Kid Colt shoots him because the guy's a piece of crap. And they're like, wow, you're awesome. Why don't you become Marshal? He's like, sure. Turns out there's a lot of corrupt shit going on here. This woman here, these guys come in the saloon and they start acting like dicks. And then he goes outside and they're beating this one. Okay, so he helps them out. Then the woman comes, oh, hey, Colt, thanks, man. You're pretty badass. He's like, yeah, shit, yeah, I'm badass. And then she gets shot in the back. She got shot in the back. And look, someone started trying to shoot his hat off. And Kid Colt's like, what the shit is this? He comes out, he's like, oh, you think you're a big badass here? He shoots that guy. And then it's like, this guy comes in, he's like, oh, and this is the guy who's controlling the town and everything. And Kid Colt's like, screw you, buddy. And there's like, oh, you're a wanted man and you better fall in line and all this crap. And Kid Colt's like, yeah, whatever. Now, someone attacked from behind. This is bullshit right here. This guy got knocked from. Listen, if that guy came face to face, he would have gotten his ass shot, but he didn't. He came from behind. So F that guy. Look at this. Kid Colt, boom, throws the carpet down. Bang. Oh, shot through the arm. Damage. He took damage. Bang, bang, shoot those losers. And it's like, well, they're all dead. What are you guys going to do about it? It's like, yeah, nothing. You're not going to do shit. And then Kid Colt's like, yeah, I'm out of this town. This town sucks. Like, I can't. The end. That was the second story. All right. Third story. This is another very typical story where he falls in with this really nice crowd of people. It's called God's Acres, I think. So they're pacifists. And he wants to live in this town here, but there is this posse. So there's a couple of these killers, these thieves. One of them gets killed, and one of them meets up with Colt, and they kind of escape or whatever. There's a posse after them, so they split ways. But then it gets to where Colt is now living in this little community here. He's very happy because it's very peaceful. But that bandit we saw earlier finds him here. He's like, "Oh, listen, we can rob this place because they're pushovers, right?" And Kid Colt's like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that. I kill the bad guys. Okay, these people are fine." So, and he basically says, "You better back the hell off, or we're gonna have some problems here." So, of course, the guy doesn't back off because he's an idiot. So, Kid Colt has to beat the shit out of him a little bit. And he's like, "Okay, whatever." And then all of a sudden, a telegram gets sent saying, "Oh yeah, Kid Colt." So that thief and Kid Colt, they're both wanted for murder, they're both wanted men. And Kid Colt Kid Colt was never proven innocent, but in his father's death, plus he killed that marshal too, right? So anyways, and they don't have any guns here. So then the guy comes to attack Kid Colt, and then Kid Colt gets his gun. And I'm not going to tell you this entire issue. You guys you can find this on many sites if you want. These are all digital copies I've got. They basically just he just blows them away right there. And it's like, yep, that's it. It's like, thanks, Colt, you're awesome. And then the telegram comes in and they said, yeah, we found this. So the town sticks up for him. They say, yeah, we found the one guy, but we never found Kid Colt. He was never here. And then the end. That's 3 stories. Like, we're talking 3 bangers. There's still another one. You do get this extra sheriff story. I read this. It was okay. This was not too bad. Doesn't have the badassery, although there's a line here. That's pretty damn cool. Okay, so let's get on to the next one. This is the last one, and then we're going to end the video out. Kid Colt Outlaw, spawn of the 6-gun syndicate, right? Okay, so the syndicate here, listen, everywhere this guy goes, there's some kind of bullshit, okay? There's some problems here. So, and like Kid Colt can take care of shit, okay? You can't just like come in here and try to do something to him. So this guy comes, it's like, what are you doing here, buddy? And he shoots him. And they're like, oh, sorry, I thought you were one of the bad guys that kidnapped my daughter. And Kid Colt's like, oh, was your daughter kidnapped? It's like, yeah, this guy's a piece of shit, and he took my daughter. So he's a desperado, and he's the boss. His name is Cash. He's like, and he's Cash Collins, and he's like, and he's one of the he's the leader of this 6-gun syndicate, and like Kid Colt's like, yeah, we're gonna see about that right now. So he gets on a horse. He's like, yeah, I'll take care of this shit right now. He goes in there, but the guys are shooting at him again. What the heck? So he comes in and blasts these guys to smithereens. This guy's like, this is the Cash guy. He's like, I'm Cash Collins. It's like, who are you? He's like, I'm Kid Colt, man. He's like, oh shit, we should team up and we're gonna go rob this place. Like, yeah, okay. So they're going to go rob this place. The thing is that Kid Colt ties a hair around the, I guess this hurts the, I guess this makes the horse go limp or something. Cause like he ties some horse hair around the ankle and it makes the horse appear as though it's limping. So the Cash is like, okay, you can stay behind. Cause Kid Colt's not a thief, right? So he stays behind to go look for the girl. So he needs an excuse to stay behind because he joined the gang under false pretenses. So there's an old timer here, old timer kind of guarding the girl. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to get her. And the old timer's like, okay, I'll help you. I wasn't really on to this. But Cash was on to Colt. And Cash comes in. He's like, oh, what are you going to do? And he goes, you're not going to do shit. And he's like, why don't we cut the cards for the girl? So Colt gets a king of hearts. And he gets an ace of spades because he had it up his sleeve. It's all fake. So the old man calls him out saying, hey, you cheated. I've seen you run this scam before. And he's like, well, we're going to shoot it out. Boom. Colt shoots it out of his hand. He grabs the girl, and the girl doesn't know what's going on. So she's upset with Kid Colt. She's like trying to squirm. He's like, listen, I'm trying to help you. And they take off. And she's like, no, help. And she starts screaming for help, which is a mistake because he is trying to help her and she doesn't know it. So the guys come up. Old timer here gets nailed because everyone gets killed in these comics. And here comes Colt. He's shooting at Colt. He shoots him. He actually shot him. But then Colt, after being shot, is able to get. He's bloody. You can see he's bloody. He goes and grabs the gun, and from being injured after being shot a couple of times, he blasts this guy in the head. Look, he shot him in the head. This is not me interpreting it. Now, you guys know that I'll say things in a fun way to make it sound, you think I'm making it sound more badass. The guy shot him in the head. That's it. What else is happening there? Okay. And he saves the girl. They go back and they nurse him to health. And they're like, yep, he's like, thanks for nursing me back to health. And now I'm leaving because I'm awesome. And then he literally says, I'm leaving because I'm so awesome. Okay. He doesn't say that, but he may as well have said it. That's it. And then you learn how to lose weight, I guess. But there you have it, man. Yo, that was issue 1. What the heck? Had that been 4 comics separately, it would have been 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Like, I can't believe it. This is absolutely one of the best issue 1s. I mean, Superman is my favorite thing of all time. He's my favorite of anything. And I don't think Superman 1 was as good as this number 1. As good as this number 1. I put it down. It's on my iPad. I put the iPad down. I was like, looks like someone's reading Kid Colt number 2 because I'm going to have to continue this. I can't believe it. Guys, let me know in the comments, man. Is this crazy? There's no way it's going to continue this crazy. I saw the Marvel banner, and that's a great thing, but I did see the comics code. This didn't have the comics code, right? This predates all that. So let me know if you've read these, and does it maintain its kind of badassery, because this is crazy. And even if it doesn't, I'm still going to continue on because Kid Colt is just wicked. Where's this, how Marvel's down, right? Why don't they make something like this? This might, bring people back and make it kick ass. We want a hero that destroys the bad guys. We don't want talking and all this other nonsense. It's like, come on. Anyway, that was Kid Colt issue 1. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like the video, and I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.